presentation, what is technology? So far in class, we've talked about engineering. This is for the first unit, Understanding Engineering and Technology. We looked at engineering so that we understand our design world. We look at technology to understand our human-made world. And usually, our human-made world is the result of our design world. Thus, technology is often the result of the efforts of engineers, no matter what field of engineering they may be working in. I've shared with you this slideshow on what is technology to help guide you through the assignment when you start working on it. So let's discuss this for a little bit. So what is technology? Simply put, I said technology is anything that is human-made. Technology is comprised of the products and processes created by engineers to meet our needs and wants. In our last activity, we looked at needs as being something you have to stay healthy and survive, and wants as something you think would make your life better. If you remember, we talked about science, technology, engineering, and math. This is identified by the acronym STEM. With technology, we look at our human-made world. With science, we look at our natural world. This is something you've done in science class. Technology often deals with what can be created by us, where science deals with what is that goes on in our environment and occurs in the surroundings. Let me stretch this up a bit here. Technology addresses human needs and wants, and it can be broken into different areas. We have information technology, communication technology, bio-related and agriculture technology, medical technology, and environmental technology. This encompasses areas in manufacturing and construction, transportation, energy and power, and nanotechnology. Let's learn about these. Information technology allows us to send signals around the world. Examples of information technology include television, internet, satellite, GPS, and cell phones. Think about innovations that have happened in information technology and how that's impacted your life. I bet information technology is a pretty big deal to you. Some of you are really getting into the television show Stranger Things. For myself, I have no idea what that is, but I do use the internet a lot, and I like my cell phone. Let's think about some of the impacts of information technology. Earlier in What is Engineering, I discussed how our wants may be more stressful to us than what they actually should be. Some positive impacts of information technology is that the internet has information that is stored for easy access. Think about the bell ringers you do. You can often find that definition quickly. Or maybe when you're working on a language arts project, you use your Chromebook to get on the internet and find resources. However, there are negative impacts to information technology. Sometimes it's harder to distinguish between reliable and unreliable resources. Have you ever seen the meme where Abraham Lincoln talks about learning things on the internet? That certainly wasn't a reliable resource because Abraham Lincoln didn't have the internet. Communication technology is giving or exchanging information. When you go to the library, maybe you look at magazines. I'm not sure if anybody does that anymore because a lot of things are online. Some people still watch DVDs. However, when I go to the library to get something for my daughter, like My Little Pony, those silly things are all scratched up. A lot of people love their Instagram. That's an example of communication technology. Even Snapchat, whatever that is. I guess my son has it, but not anymore. And video games. So, communication technology is going to have some positive and negative impacts as well. Digital cameras. Most of what we do with a digital camera is through our cell phone, but some people do actually have a camera, and they like that they're able to edit and print only the pictures they like. In the olden days, we took pictures on film, and then we had to take the canister film to a photography place to get it developed. Some of the pictures we didn't want, and we threw away. But now we can choose what we want and make prints of them. However, there are some negative impacts of communication technology. Computers, printers, and digital cameras make it easy for forgery and plagiarism. I bet your teachers have talked to you about plagiarism, and some of you may have gotten in trouble for it because it often results in a bad grade. Let me stretch this up a little bit. It seems to go on the slide. So, now we're at biorelated and agricultural technology. We live in Iowa, so we have a lot of technology that relates to this area. Biotechnology transforms living things into products or new forms of life. Examples might be genetic engineering and bionics. Agricultural technology produces plants and animals for food, fiber, and fuel. Some examples of this could be irrigation, food preservation, like canning, weed and insect control. Both deal with living things. But let's look at some of the positives and negatives of biorelated technology. Health is an important positive impact. We want to improve the quality of life through vitamins, vaccines, and medications. But there could be some side effects. Some medicines make people sick. That would be a negative impact of bio-related technology. And then we have agricultural technology. Positive impacts. Fertilizer. Just south of town, they built a huge fertilizer plant because of its important use in agriculture. It can make plants produce more food per acre. Acre is an area of land. Negative impacts. Some of the fertilizers have found their way into the groundwater. This might pollute our good drinking water. People often think that the water is unsafe because of agriculture. Medical technology. This creates tools to treat disease and injury. Different examples of medical technology include lasers, prosthesis, ultrasound, and medications. Some positive impacts are x-rays. Have you ever got an x-ray to see if you had a bone broken or not? If you've noticed, our principal, he's been on crutches. He has a fractured femur. He found that out because of an x-ray. Negative impacts. Too many x-rays will actually cause cancer. Have you ever went to get an x-ray and noticed that everybody leaves the room so that they don't get exposed to the radiation from the x-ray? Then we have environmental technology. Environmental technology creates tools to minimize the effect of technology on the development of living things. Some examples are hybrid vehicles or even electric cars. Those are becoming more popular. Conservation and waste management. We do a lot more recycling these days than ever before. Some positive impacts are recycling. Through recycling, we improve the water and air quality because we do not have to use so many chemicals to produce new items. Some of the negative impacts makes disposal of garbage more complicated and time-consuming. If you live in town like I do, we have to sort out our recyclables, and we can only put them out every other week. That means sometimes our trash is sitting around for a couple weeks before it gets picked up at the curb. Production technology is the manufacturing of physical goods on an assembly line and the construction of structures on a job site. This is popular in our community here in southeast Iowa. We have a lot of factories and there's a lot of construction going on because the economy is good. With manufacturing technology, raw materials are turned into usable products. Sometimes we take natural or synthetic materials and turn those into products to make the things that meet the needs and wants in our life. Examples are clothing, vehicles, and food. Construction technology builds structures that support loads and protect us from the environment. Just think, if we were outside in the cold right now, what the advantages of construction technology have for our life. Some positive impacts of manufacturing is new products that help make our life easier and increase our leisure time. Some negatives are the materials in industries that can harm the environment. Construction improves our roads, gives us shelter, and creates employment so that we have jobs and make money. But the negatives are the noise and the debris, traffic problems, accidents, and injuries. Materials technology is the development of materials with outstanding combinations of mechanical, chemical, and electrical properties that make other advances possible. Some examples are mosquito repellent clothing, artificial skin grafts for burn victims, advanced building materials such as composite decking. These materials do not rot. The positives are we are able to reuse recycled materials to help the environment. The negatives are new materials we don't know how the materials will behave over long periods of time. Transportation technology provides a way for people, animals, products, and materials to be moved from one place to another, such as airplanes, rockets, space shuttle, trains, subway, automobiles, my favorite, the bicycle. We see barges for water traffic, and non-vehicle transportation like conveyors in factories and pipelines that might haul petroleum from one side of the country to the other. Our positives are being able to go long distances faster. Our negatives are accidents. And then energy and power. Energy is the ability or capacity to do work. Chemical energy makes gasoline. Mechanical energy makes motion. Thermal energy comes from steam. Electrical energy makes electricity. And radiant energy can be things like solar power. Energy and power. Power is the rate at which energy is transformed from one form to another. Electrical power provides light and operates motors. Mechanical power moves automobiles, trains, and airplanes. Fluid power uses fluids to produce motion. Hydraulic uses a liquid. Pneumatic uses a gas. Positive impacts of energy and power. Without energy and power, most technologies would not exist or work. But the negative effects, overuse of non-renewable resources like coal, oil, and materials from oil, such as gasoline. Nanotechnology is manipulating materials on an atomic or molecular level. Examples are sensors, nanobot technology, and molecular manufacturing. Positives are implanted sensors that can adjust your medical treatment. Negatives of nanotechnology could impede upon your privacy. Thanks for watching.